Kazakhstan!
Защищается блестяще, великолепная пятерка и вратарь. Свой бой ведет ледовая дружина, мы верим в мужество отчаянных парней, в хоккей играют настоящие мужчины. Русский играет в хоккей, русский играет в хоккей. Приглашается сборная команда Казахстана. Вперед приглашается сборная команда Норвегии. Судьи лицензированы назначены Международной федерацией хоккея на льду.
The officials have been licensed and assigned by the International Sport Federation.
Главные судьи Тимофея и Юсову.
The referees of the game, Timothy Meyer and Jonas Owens.
Мнение судей Кирилл Кингла и Николай Боровьев.
The linesmen Henry Tiller and Nikolai Kammerov.
Представляем стартовую пятерку сборной команды Норвегии.
Now presenting the starting lineup for the upcoming game for Team Norway.
Вратарь номер 30.
And the goal for team number 30, Lars Hagen.
Защитник номер 6.
On defense, number 6, Jonas Kulis.
Номер 10.
Number 10, Matthias Musterbo.
Нападающий номер 20.
The forwards, number 20, Anders Bastiansen.
Номер 24.
Number 24, Anders Martinsen.
И номер 36.
Number 36, Mats Guerrero.
Представляем стартовую пятерку сборной команды Казахстана.
Now the starting lineup for the upcoming game for Team Kazakhstan.
Вратарь команды номер 20.
And the goal for the team, number 20, Vitali Alexei.
Защитники номер 3.
On defense, number 3, Vyacheslav Krasimov.
Номер 7.
Number 7, Maxim Simonov.
Нападающий номер 9.
The forwards, number 9, Nigel Lewis.
Номер 27.
Number 27, Brandon Machinsky.
И номер 41.
And number 41, Dustin Boyd.
Each team with 2 points, each team with an extra time win and a loss so far in this tournament. Maybe that's the bad news, but the good news is you're not that far from that 4th spot, which would get you into the quarterfinals.
Oh no, and that was the battle just had between Denmark and Switzerland. So a chance for these two teams to move up ahead of Switzerland. And another close battle you would expect is Norway, although they were shut out in that first game, seemed to hit their stride against Switzerland. And the interesting thing, you look at the Kazakhstan, their goaltender, Kalishnik, he has faced 100 shots through 2 games.
He has been busy. Few players on both of these teams that the potential for them to get going, and one of them certainly is Matt Zuccarello, who's out there to start this game for Norway. Tried to trap it up on the boards, could not. Andreas Martinsen, who had the overtime winner for Norway, in on the forecheck, but cleared away, and Kolas hustles back into his own zone. Kolas has been the busiest of the Norwegian players. He has logged a lot of ice time. 54 minutes and 44 seconds coming into this game tonight.
And I don't expect it to be any different. A very smooth skating and reliable defenseman for Norway.
Now we can look on the other side of the ledger, I guess, and that's where we find Maxim Semyonov, who coming into this game tonight has had 84 shifts and 55 minutes of ice time. Save made by Kalishnik, and he will hang on with all sorts of traffic in front.
Well, shot from Mathis Olam, and good job coming down the wing, get it to the net. The Olam brothers were a big reason for the win over Switzerland as Ken Andre goes to the net. Mathis Olam talked after that game about the two of them, how much they enjoyed playing together and how much they think alike, which you would imagine between brothers.
Mathis Olam leads the Norwegian team in scoring, 3 points. And Ken Andre with 2 points, a goal and an assist. And it will be Ken Andre to take the face-off. Rosalie Olsen tried the shot to the short side. It got blocked. Gets it back to the front of the net. Tollefson at the line. Tollefson the shot. And Kalishnik will grab that and hang on. So very quickly, he's up to 102.
Doesn't take long, and start to be bored if you didn't see some. Andrei Nazarov, the head coach for Kazakhstan, the former NHLer, and Roy Johansson, who's a longtime coach of Norway, expected to be his last tournament, as he's been the head coach since 2001.
Semyonov, and this game gets its first penalty.
Well, it's going to be a delay of game, and you're talking about the ice time Semyonov plays. Not sure if this is deflected. They're going to have a little conversation as he goes to the backhand. I think this looked like it went straight out. Roymark is there, and his stick hits Semyonov's stick, but it does not seem to catch the puck.
And it is a penalty. Referees are Timothy Mayer of USA, Linus Oland of Sweden, and your linesmen are Henrik Hillblad of Sweden and Nikolai Ponomarov of Germany.
So Norway gets the opportunity, 2 for 7 in the tournament on the power play. The penalty kill has struggled for Kazakhstan. They've killed 5 of 9.
Norstabo controls off the face-off. Zuccarello back for Norstabo, and now back for Zuccarello. Tees it up, shot, not just missed. Kolas sends it back around the boards, picked off behind the net by Savchenko, and he'll lift this out of harm's way.
Savchenko had a shorthanded goal in the first game against Switzerland. He scored it from his own blue line.
That was on Red O'Bara, and Red O'Bara picked up a win for Switzerland this afternoon. Another game that went to overtime. 5 of the 11 at this rink have gone to extra time. Kolas the shot, that got blocked, rebound. Martinsen is after it, can't get a stick on it, and cleared down the ice. Lars Haugen will leave it behind his own net. Here is Holas. Drops it back. Mathis Olam winds his way in, finds his brother. Holas back to Ken Andre Olam, walks it in, shot, save, rebound, is gobbled up and cleared and sent around the boards by Markelov.
Good right pad save by Kalishnik.
Vladimir Markelov and Ilya Lobanov are making their tournament debuts for Kazakhstan. Trigg will start the power play. Into the final few seconds of the man advantage. Some room for Ken Andre Olam, and the shot goes off a stick as Lakiza got in front of it, and it flutters into Kalishnik.
Giza does a good job just stepping in as Ken-Andre Olam earlier, quick shot. There's the right pad save by Vitaly Kalishnik as he's in front. Rosalie Olsen providing the screen. Able to pick that puck up just in time to make the save.
.920 save percentage for Kalishnik coming into this game tonight. Slammed around the boards by Cora Bencott. Zuccarello's going to hold this in. Tollefson, sharp angle chance, and Kalishnik makes the save off of Andreas Martinsen.
Oh, now a pile up in front is Bastiansen of Norway is at the bottom of the pile. He gets a little tap from Kalishnik as there's a look at Andreas Martinsen, who played for the Colorado Avalanche. He lets the shot go, had the overtime winner against Switzerland, and Kalishnik makes the save, dropped quickly on that rebound.
The one difference, if this was NHL officiating, we've seen a lot of those confrontations in front of the net after whistles.
Well, they've let it go, and one way to settle is you
score! Screen shot from the line by Johannes Johansson. And an early lead for Norway.
We just saw a game end on a face-off and a blast in as Switzerland won in overtime. This time, it's the first goal of the game. Face-off win right to the point, and Johannes Johansson, just a good low shot to the low corner as Forsberg's going to win it back, and that finds its way between a bunch of bodies that passed Vitaly Kalishnik, who didn't have a chance to pick it up in time, and Norway grabs a 1-0 lead.
Another big face-off win by Christian Forsberg. Anyway, back to that discussion we were having. In the NHL, they would pick somebody out of the pile, send them to the box, and try and end that.
Exactly, and it usually does, or settles it down.
Kochenski, cross-ice pass, that was intended for Dustin Boyd, and it got tipped away. Kochenski on it again. At the line, held in by Semyonov. Nigel Dawes tries to work it free, can't. And Andreas Martinsen will play it ahead.
A couple of real good plays by Steen of Norway.
Shot by Martinsen and another chance by Andreas Martinsen.
Well, quick shot, and a look at Johan Johansson. Just a good low shot. Here is a D-man, he keeps that shot nice and low. Head up, able to find its way through that traffic, and very excited young fan.
And an excited young man. Norstabo tried to get it down low, could not. Holas will hustle back. Holas getting pressured there by Starchenko. And it finally comes free for Holas. For Zuccarello. He'll drop it for Norstabo. Norstabo finds Bastiansen. Cross ice. What a save by Kalishnik off Andreas Martinsen. He can't believe it.
Wow, he's just looking up. Vitaly Kalishnik absolutely robs Martinsen. This is a great pass. Bastiansen, Martinsen, and he gets it away in time quickly, but sprawling right to left. Kalishnik, a bit of a highlight reel save as he keeps it a one-goal game.
Off the face-off, controlled by Norway. Olam drops it off. Good start here for Norway. Rosalie Olsen. Into the corner it goes. Lapine trying to tie his man up. Savchenko to the backboards. Puck comes loose, and a penalty now coming to Norway. And Kazakhstan, with the best power play so far in this tournament, will go to work.
Well, this isn't what Norway wanted to do. Mathis Olam's going to head to the box. It's been all Norway early in this game, and he gets a hook and call in the offensive zone. puck moving up and gets the stick up in that midsection. So Kazakhstan power play, and you mentioned it, Dennis, 4 for 6 with the man advantage.
They had 3 power play goals in that loss to Russia.
That was a big reason they were able to stay in that game. They tied it up at 4 apiece before a couple of Russian goals iced it.
Brandon Bochenski finds Nigel Dawes. Dawes plays that into the corner. Bochenski, sharp angle chance. And the save made by Haugen. And here we go again.
Tollefson and Bochenski are going to push and shove. Talking about it earlier, it's almost like every time the goalie makes a save is look at Brandon Bochenski, one of the assistant captains here on Kazakhstan. He is the captain for the team in the KHL. It's in Astana. Plays alongside there with Nigel Dawes and Dustin Boyd. So those 3 North Americans here on a line.
Shots 9-1 in favor of Norway. It's been a good start for them.
Well, and we did mention, so for the Kazakhstan netminder, he might get bored if they didn't allow that many shots.
Holas trying to clear. Back at the line, waiting for it. Cleared in by Steen. Lakiza got dumped in the high slot. Dustin Boyd heads to the front of the net. Back it comes to Lakiza. He'll send it cross ice where it's taken there by Savchenko. Down for Ramirev. He has a power play goal in this tournament. Back in for Ramirev. Jammed it to the front of the net. And cleared around the boards, and Lakiza will have to go back for Kazakhstan. Semyonov for Bochenski. Through the middle for Nigel Dawes. Doesn't get it deep, but Mats Trigg can't clear. Roymark now gets in front of Dawes, and that allows Trigg a second chance to get it down the ice, and he does.
Well, good. Often you're lucky to get that second chance to clear the zone.
Long lead pass. Dawes with a one-touch pass for Boyd. Nigel Dawes scores! Power play goal, Kazakhstan. 4 seconds left in the man advantage.
Nigel Dawes able to rip this home, and now their 5th power play goal and 7 tries. 2 goals, 2 assists for Dawes in this tournament, but it's a great play by Dawes. Little tip pass to Boyd. Dawes stops up, creates that separation from Odegaard, the defenseman of Norway, and that gives him enough time to get this shot away. It's a quick one-timer between the pads. And a big goal for Kazakhstan as they get right back into this as it goes 5-0 on Lars Haugen. Kazakhstan fans now get a chance to celebrate.
Yep. 7 minutes in, each team's fans have been able to stand up and yell. Zuccarello sends it for Andreas Martinsen. Another power play goal for Kazakhstan.
That's been their method of success here in the early part of the tournament. Mentioned the shots heavily in favor of Norway. They've been heavily in favor in every opponent, but they've been able to capitalize. What a hit by Zuccarello.
An unlikely hitter, but a good one by Zuccarello. Hudakov plays this back to the line. Sent in by Lepine. Savchenko in from the left point for Krasnoslobodsev. He chops it free on and off the stick of Pushkarov, and Holas is on it. Turns it over in his own zone though. Pile up into the corners, they battle for a loose puck. Salerev there along with Markelov. And finally Holas will get a second opportunity to clear it out. And again, unable to is Mathis. Olin was stopped by Savchenko. Andreas Martinsen chips it ahead, and again it does not get outside the line, and now finally it will.
Kind of like they're tilting the ice.
Mathis Olam wrist shot. Kalishnik makes the save. Back to the front of the net. Karams around. Johansson, the goal scorer for Norway. For Olam. Now for Ken-Andre Olam, and that quick shot was stopped. Shot from the point by Tollefson. Stopped by Kalishnik, and he hangs on. A 1-1 tie, Kazakhstan and Norway here in the opening period.
The first goal for Team Kazakhstan was scored by number 9, Nigel Rose, and assisted by number 41, basketball, and number 7, Maxim Simonov.
Norway was able to open up first, and then on a power play, Nigel Dawes for Kazakhstan has this game tied up at 1, and that's Dawes' second goal in the tournament. The other goal came on a shootout winner. They do count shootout winners here at the World Championship.
So he has now taken over the sole possession of the scoring lead for Kazakhstan in this tournament with 4 points. One ahead of Starchenko. And this is an icing call. Face-off will come back into the Kazakhstan zone.
It was just a smart play by the veteran Nigel Dawes to stop. That just creates enough space. Allows Boyd to get that pass to him. A quick play up. Big play in the neutral zone, little tip, and then nice finish as he gets it between the pads of Haugen, the goalie for Norway.
Brandon Bochinski, the other member of that line. Centered out front, and a high stick coming up on the play. And it is going to be Ken-Andre Olam who is going to go for hooking. Well, or is it him?
I thought it was Dustin Boyd who was going to get the call here. But you're right, it was Mathis Olam that was in the box for the first Kazakhstan goal. Now it's going to be Ken-Andre Olam, and he can't believe it. He thought he was getting the call against him as Dustin Boyd got the stick up high. Roy Johansson has no idea. A look in front of the net. There's the high stick. Not sure where the hooking is.
Perhaps the referee is saying because he hooked him, the stick came up. I don't know. Savchenko. That shot got blocked, cleared all the way down the ice. Tryasunov will go back. Semyonov takes the pass and comes rink wide for Bochinski. Left side, Dawes. Bochinski to the front of the net. And a good defensive play by Christian Ole Tollefson.
Well, Tollefson, a good read on their positioning. Recognize that pass, trying to find Bochinski.
Back for Semyonov to Bochinski for Dawes. That quick shot of his stopped on the short side by Haugen. And slowly to center ice, and then all the way down the ice by Tollefson. Tryasunov will leave it for Ramirev. Back for Roman Starchenko. Starchenko will drop it back for Lakiza. And slowly they work their way into the Norway line, or Norway zone, but they turn it over. And Mats Trygg will fire it down the ice. Savchenko leaves it for Ramirev. Haugen seemed to fight that one a little bit. And now this ends up in the Norway bench.
A little chip play over to the corners. Oh, look at Ken-Andre Olam in front. Still trying to find where he gets the hooking. Oh, maybe it's to the feet of Dustin Boyd. See, look, if there's one, there's two there. There should have been a high stick, but That might have been his argument.
It was. That was his, if you want to read lips, I got a stick in the face. But the referee wasn't buying what he was selling. And he has 36 seconds left in the penalty box. Back at the line, Semyonov for Bochinski. Brandon Bochinski. Dustin Boyd is in front. Dawes backs out a little. Boyd right in front of the net, and another save by Haugen.
Boyd gets leveled in front after a great chance. This line again, working the puck around as Bochinski, just patience. Waits for that open pass lane to Boyd in front, and he gets it. Haugen makes the save, then Tollefson's going to send Dustin Boyd down to the ice.
Haugen will play this around the boards. There was a fourth North American that received his Kazakhstan citizenship. That was Kevin Dahlman, and played a key part in the tournament last year when they won the Division 1A to advance to this. There's that shot from Dawes again that went wide, but for personal reasons, Dahlman is not here. And a penalty now coming up to Norway.
Boy, Norway's getting themselves in trouble.
We're getting doubles here.
With two people going. Tollefson and Dawes.
Is he calling a diving play on this?
Dawes and Tollefson came together in front, and then
here's where it happens there. And that is, you watch the signal from the referee, it's the dive signal.
So 4-on-4 now. This team's a little aggressive early on.
Bouncing puck, back for it, Norstabo, and 4-on-4. This is going to be an icing call, and the faceoff will come back.
Captain for Kazakhstan, Roman Starchenko. There's Andrei Nazarov, the head coach for Kazakhstan. 571 NHL games with San Jose, Tampa, Calgary, Anaheim, Boston, Phoenix, and Minnesota. 1,409 minutes. Penalty time, so used a little bit of the rough stuff when he played.
Yes, tripping and embellishment officially the call. So just back to the four North Americans to give you the correct description of it. They were naturalized and received Kazakhstan citizenship. They all play for Astana of the KHL. There's a pile up as Kolishnik and Andreas Martinson.
Well, it continues. Tough night here for the goalies. Martinson just driving to the net. Kind of gets tripped up by Lakiza. And then runs into Vitaly Kolishnik. So they get separated. The net gets put back on. And Martinson's going to go take a rest.
2 points for Norway, 2 points for Kazakhstan. A regulation win, and one of these teams will jump into the top 4 in the A pool. And this will be offside as Ken-Andre Olam couldn't hold that back leg down. We will step aside. It's a 1-1 tie.
Still 4-on-4 here. The ice set. 1-1 game. I don't see much 5-on-5. power play goal and some penalties back and forth. Some penalties that we're still trying to figure out.
The Johansson goal, by the way, was not a power play marker. It came a few seconds after the power play had expired. Bochenski back out, has Boyd with him. Savchenko and Lepine on defense for Kazakhstan. Norstabo sends this in out there with the two Olams and Holas. Holas the shot from the line, that's blocked in front by Savchenko. And it chopped ahead by Boyd for Bochenski. Bochenski has it chopped away, but staying on it is Boyd. Tried to get that back to Bochenski, and a good defensive play by Norstabo. Mathis Olam plays it out at center for Zuccarello. Zuccarello takes it to the outside, and offside is called. Zuccarello still looking for his first goal in this championship.
Probably not what you would expect for Zuccarello after a great season with the New York Rangers, his sixth season there. 26 goals.
Zuccarello, 13 shots on goal coming into this game tonight. Leads Norway in the shots on goal department. Zuccarello watched by Starchenko. We talked about that win by Kazakhstan in the Division 1A playoffs. Starchenko was the MVP of that. Triggs, first shot blocked, second shot gets through, and Polishnik makes the save.
Great chance for Trigg. First shot block is almost like a pass, comes right back to his stick for his second attempt.
Semyonov plays that ahead, looking for Ivanov. Too far for him. Back to 5-on-5 as Tolofsson and Dawes are out of the penalty box. And here comes Dawes with Boyd. Boyd for Dawes, and a right pad save by Haugen. Centered, and crease violation against Brandon Bochenski.
Another nice play is Boyd just centering feed, and Nigel Dawes driving that middle lane. Nice little deflection there. And it's Brandon Bochenski looking for the rebound. Gets that skate into the blue paint. That's the crease violation as faceoff comes outside. Good chance for Matt Drake. 1-2 as Koleshnik makes the save on the second one.
This is World Championship game number 80 for Mats Krig. He leads all players from Norway in that category. And a chance there to give Norway the lead here in the opening period. Tollefson takes a bit of a bump there from Dustin Boyd. Forsberg is after it. Forsberg was the Norway player that won the faceoff that led to the opening goal. Savchenkov plays it around the boards for Lepine. Lepine sends it up the wall. That got blocked by Roymark. And he'll play it back in behind the Kazakhstan net. Savchenko will try it again. Out at center ice, Hudakov sends it the rest of the way in. Krasnoslobodsev is after it. He's tied up. Pushkarov is on the loose puck. Back for Krasnoslobodsev. Holas trying to wrap the big man up. Pushkarov plays it in behind the net as they start to get a little physical on this shift again. Nostabo plays it back for Holas. And here comes Norway. Oh, big hit. As getting knocked down there was Dahlstrom.
Solariov just puts the shoulder into Dahlstrom, who's coming up. Dahlstrom's going to lose this puck, and as he does, reaches for it. Gets his hand up in time, but Solariov, good job, just shoulder into that chest, and down goes Dahlstrom.
We've seen some big hits. Solarov, 6'3", 205 pounds, the 33-year-old. Long slap shot in. Semyonov thought, well, it worked for Savchenko yesterday. I'll try it today. Through center ice. That's as far as that gets. Tryasunov plays it back in. And the wrist shot from Markelov goes over top the net. And take it at center, and Lakiza will send it back in. Haugen will glove it and leaves it there for Odegaard. For Tollefson. And on for Olam. In for Rosalie Olsen. Sends it back for Mathis Olam. His pass ends up on the stick of Nigel Dawes, who finds Boczynski. Boczynski floats this one in on Haugen, and he's going to hang on to it.
Some more conversation. Tollefson, tough defenseman. A look at some of the physicality. Tollefson sending Boyd down to the ice. Dawes going back, and Tollefson, that was the call for embellishment, and Solanierov with a good hit on Dahlstrom. And Borodenkov able to follow a solid hit on Olam. So there has been physicality back and forth early in this game.
Lapine slap shot. Haugen left pad save. Seen some clean face-off wins. You talked about it earlier. Eric Blum with the game winner for Switzerland this afternoon, right off a face-off in overtime against Denmark. Denmark was up 2-0 after one period. And that's the way it was going into the third. And a two-goal period for Switzerland. And this time, unlike their first two games of this championship, they found a way to get that winning goal.
Well, and they were down 2 to Norway and came back and tied it before Norway won on a power play goal in overtime.
Tryasunov for Semyonov, back for Tryasunov, and back for Semyonov. Budakov deflects this in. Norstabo goes back for it. Plays it up the boards. Nice play at the line. Here comes Trettins. Trettins with Dahlstrom heading to the net. And save made. And then Dahlstrom ends up in the net. And is Krasno Slobodsev going to get called here?
I think it might be, is it Krasno Slobodsev or is it Dahlstrom, who did make contact with Kalishnik? But you're right. Krasno Slobodsev is going to head back on the back check. Obvious hooking on Dahlstrom as he's trying to catch him on the odd man rush. Good play by Trentons. He made the nice play at it, his own end of the blue line, chips it by, comes in, and Dahlstrom goes right into the camera as Krasno Slobodsev will sit down for 2. They're going to have to do some work on the net. It's come off again. And Norway gets another power play opportunity. A chance late in period 1 for Norway. Possibly look for the lead here after 20 minutes of play. So look at Vitaly Kalishnik as he makes the save off Trentons. Kalishnik plays for Locomotive in the KHL. His 8th season there, had a 1.99 goals against and a 9.19 save percentage.
Controlled off the draw. Hull lost the slap shot and a right arm save by Kalishnik. And this gets deflected up and out of play.
Good shot by Hollis gets it over 2 guys that go down to block, and Kalishnik easily with the blocker just directs it out of play. Let's look at Solariev. He had the big hit on Dahlstrom.
Off the draw, controlled by Norstabo for Zuccarello. Back for Norstabo, slap shot. Kalishnik makes the save. Zuccarello jumps on the rebound. Back for Norstabo. Power play continuing for Norway. Holas back up top. Norstabo for Zuccarello. Kalishnik to save, and he gets the big glove on it.
Another battle in front, but a good play. Bastiansen of Norway right on top of Kalishnik, and Martinson he had a battle in front with Solariev, and he's going to go to the penalty box for roughing. So that ends the Norway power play, and it'll be 4-on-4 for a minute 28 before a 32-second power play for Kazakhstan. After that, there's a shot by Zuccarello Bastiansen does a good job getting in on this screen. Martinson comes in after. He gives the shot, then will draw the call.
Talk about the physicality, or you can talk about the power play, I guess, for Kazakhstan. Their coach, Andrei Nazarov, the 571 NHL games played, he had 53 goals, 124 points, but he also had 1,409 penalty minutes. So played with a bit of an edge. 4-on-4. And then, barring any more calls, power play for Kazakhstan. Wojcicki, good job to get that back to Lepine. And Lepine shot off a stick and high, and Mathis Olam goes after it. Olam gets pressured there by Wojcicki, gets it for Dustin Boyd, and now poked away, and here comes Mathis Olam for Ken-Andre Olam. In for Holas. Holas, the quick shot blocked by Lepine. Ken-Andre Olam's after it, got away from him, and Savchenko sends it ahead for Boyd, back for Wojcicki. Tied up on the near side, and the long shot in by Savchenko. Then back for it, Starchenko. Plays it behind the net for Ivanov. Ivanov got dumped, and now there's going to be a penalty. Matt Triggs gets bumped into the backboards. And it will be a penalty to Starchenko.
Well, Starchenko knows better. You're seeing numbers here. He comes in a little push to Mats Trigg and sends him. So it's been back and forth penalties. There's a little bit of cross check from behind. It's going to be a boarding call to Starchenko. So a little 4-on-3 power play.
So the minor penalty to Andreas Martinson will not get registered as a power play opportunity. As the power play now continues for Norway. Bastiansen knocks it into the corner. Bastiansen is the best face-off man for Norway as far as percentage. 26 of 40 coming into this game at 65% success rate for him. Olam carries deep. Wojcicki got a piece of that centering pass. Kept in at the line by Holas. For Olam. Zuccarello slips it back for Holas, back for Zuccarello. And that shot off a stick and over top the net. And now we're back to 4-on-4 for 26 seconds.
Some good penalty kill work by Brandon Wojcicki along the wall. Zuccarello looking to get a shot through to the net, but was unable to. Still looking for that first goal of this tournament. He's had some real good looks.
First Worlds for him since 2010. And yes, he's had some good looks. We saw Nino Niederreiter finally get one this afternoon after having a whole bunch of opportunities. Good save there by Kalishnik. Solerev for Krasnoslobodsev. He got squeezed out at the line, and it's taken by Norstebo. Norstebo at center. Rosalie Olsen couldn't get anywhere. And now power play for Kazakhstan, a brief one. Or rather, brief power play for Norway. Andreas Martinson came out of the penalty box. Olam shot to the short side. That was stopped by Kalishnik, and Savchenko will slap this down the ice. And the first period comes to an end, and Norway will start period 2 on a brief power play.
Well, it's been physical, and these teams seem to not like each other very much as it ends with a little bit of pushing and shoving, as each team able to grab a goal in that first 20 minutes of play.
So they're tied in points in the tournament, each with 2, and they're tied in goals after 1-1.
This is the decisive second. The second one yet. The point of no return. This is where you meet yourself. This is where new adventure begins. This is the moment. This is your time. Teaser.
Хоккей – это спорт, где все относятся к своему делу по-особому. И болельщики, и хоккеисты. Здесь каждый старается изо всех сил и укладывается в полную. Поэтому мы поддерживаем чемпионат мира по хоккею уже много лет. И вкладываемся в тех, кто вкладывается. Райфайзенбанк. Разница в отношениях.
Introducing the 2016 IIHF app.
Крупнейший дистрибьютор автозапчастей мировых производителей. Автоматизация складской логистики, не имеющая аналогов в Восточной Европе. Собственный товарный знак автозапчасти «Патрон» с 2004 года. Товарный знак «Патрон» зарегистрирован в 21 стране мира. Автозапчасти «Патрон». Побеждаем вместе. Наш мир. Наша скорость. Наша надежность. Наш характер. Наша поддержка. Наши победы. Это наша игра. Это наш хоккей. И это у нас не отнять. И не весна. Официальный партнер чемпионата мира по хоккею 2016 года.
подтягивается к полу два ствола нам, а только успел голову убрать. Как ебали шапка нам дребезги. Я говорю, да, поехали отсюда.
Welcome back to the Ice Palace in Moscow as Kazakhstan and Norway tied 1-1. They get set to start period number 2. Norway on a power play for 23 seconds to start the second period. We've talked about Nigel Dawes and Brandon Buchinski, Dustin Boyd, Kevin Dahlman, that all play for Astana, and we see some of them in this championship. Cam Barker, another Winnipegger, has signed a one-year deal with Astana, so you wonder if he may go down the same path as some of his buddies.
I'm sure Boyd, because Boyd, Dawes, both from Winnipeg, as well as Barker, maybe a little inside knowledge, but in this game, and they showed the goalies, we talked about Kalishnik coming into this game for Kazakhstan, facing 100 shots in 2 games, so no surprise that Norway has the edge in shots as they outshot Kazakhstan 18-9 in that first period of play.
And we mentioned a player making his debut. Ilya Lobanov is in the Kazakhstan lineup, 6'6", 214 pounds. Did not get a shift. He's 19 years old, and he is rated by Central Scouting for this summer's draft. So we'll see if we can get a look at him at some point in this tournament. Zuccarello sends this back at the line for Holas, and that blast is blocked by Solera. Power play is over. Andreas Martinson plays it and then gets it back. Shot to the short side, he breaks his stick on it. Lead pass, busting through the middle, Starchenko off the goalpost. What a burst of speed by Roman Starchenko.
Well, good play by Jonas Holas as he gets across the defenseman for Norway. Talking about numbers, we should mention Holas, who makes that defensive play, played over half that first period, 10 minutes and 34 seconds of ice time as the captain, Starchenko, had a good chance. It's a quick breakout out of their zone, and he cuts to the inside. Norstabo turns the wrong way, and Holas does a good job getting back, and the backhand of Starchenko off the goal post. Very close to giving Kazakhstan the lead.
Brandon Buchinski gets it in front for Dustin Boyd. Save, rebound save. They bang away at him. Haugen down. And finally grabbed off by Olam. And another chance off a face-off win.
And we've seen that. You don't want to lose the draw clean. If you can, at least tie up, get some support from your wingers.
Olam for Rosalie Olsen centers, and it's right onto the stick of Nigel Dawes. On for Dustin Boyd. Tried to bust his way through, could not. And Mathis Olam starts back. Boyd and Buchinski are both caught in behind the play as they both got knocked down. Centered in front, wrist shots by Trigg. Save made by Kalishnik. That's Trigg. Nice pass back for Odegaard. Odegaard in for Rosalie Olsen. For Ken-Andre Olam, back to the line for Odegaard. Never got the shot through. And Brandon Buchinski content to send it off the glass, but it's tracked down by Dawes. And then Dawes couldn't get around Odegaard. Rosalie Olsen drops, gets it back, and shot it over top the net. What a pass by Mathis Olam.
Great little give and go as Rosalie Olsen dropped it, then went and got open, and Mathis Olam with a great feed across the ice.
Odegaard knocked down Ramirez. Ramirez did get the puck in. Holas is after it. Couldn't get it past Big Ivanov. And then Ivanov gets taken down by Odegaard. Holas back on the loose puck. And Volkve Olsen offside called at the line.
Well, we've had chances at both ends of the ice, and the goaltender's been able to come up with saves. Dustin Boyd with a good chance. Tried to center it there for Bochenski. Good job in front by Ken-Andre Olam, tying up the stick of Bochenski on the other end. Little drop pass, Rosalie Olsen to Olam, back to Olsen. And Rosalie Olsen looking for some room to the blocker side, puts it wide.
Holas off the faceoff. Deflected in by Volkve Olsen. And back for Kazakhstan, Kranchnos Lobotsev. Plays it for Pushkarov. Back at the line. Kept in by Korobenkov. And then cleared out at center ice. Kazakhstan crowd trying to cheer their team on. Stolen and shot in from just inside the line by Dahlstrom. That got steered away. Dahlstrom stays on it, plays it back for Trettens. Trettens will drop it at the line. Low shot by Johansson. He has the Norway goal, and that shot never got to the net. And this is going to be an icing call against... No, they wave it off. Well, the back linesman had his hand up.
It's a late wave off.
And the front linesman called it off. Play goes on. Trettens back at the line. Tollefson for Andreas Martinson. Martinson sharp angle. And Kalishnik steered it away. And a high sticking penalty coming up in front of the net.
I think Lakiza's going to get the call here as Steen takes the stick up high. It was a quick shot. And Steen was looking for that rebound off to the right of Kalishnik. And it is Artemi Lakiza who's going to go to the penalty box. So power play now for Norway. There's the shot, and Steen's going to take the stick up high. Just 2 minutes for Norway with the man advantage.
Call made by Timothy Mayer of the United States. And he appears to be all right on the bench. Steen does. Put that on tape. Puck was not dropped fairly. They'll do it all over again. Holas for Zuccarello. Lets the shot go, looking for that low corner glove side on Kalishnik. Semyonov hammers it around the boards, and down the ice it goes. Third power play of the game for Norway. Norstebo sends it back for Holas, and Jonas Holas spent a little bit of time with Colorado. Plays it through for Norstebo, the youngster. Sends it back around for the veteran Holas, and this makes its way all the way out at center. Zuccarello back for Holas. He'll leave for Norstebo. And Norstebo is chased all the way back in behind his own net by Vladimir Markelov. And then Markelov will hustle to the bench. Ken-Andre Olam. Oh, and he got leveled there by Big Lapine.
Big hit by Lapine as Ken-Andre Olam just trying to get that shot away on net.
Rosalie Olsen into the slot. And that shot flutters off Semyonov and grabbed and held by Kalishnik.
Rosalie Olsen had a real good chance earlier in this period. He just couldn't get the shot on net as he put it wide. Look at Rosalie Olsen, plays for Rwanda in the Swedish Elite League. They were league champs this past season.
Big Solerov.
Solerov, Lapine, they both had some thunderous hits in this game.
Kazakhstan is a big team. Olam. Solerov breaks it up to the line, but not out. Johansson holds it in. Korobienkov trying to slam that up the wall. Kept in, though, by Norway with this man advantage. Trigg plays it back at the line, and Johansson's shot sails over top the net. Rosalie Olsen back for Mathis Olom, for Ken-Andre Olom to Mathis Olom. Lets it go to the far side. Blocker saved by Kalishnik. Johansson is on the loose puck for Rosalie Olsen. Power play is over as Kazakhstan has killed off all three shorthanded situations. Semyonov plays this around the boards. No one able to get a stick on it. And icing is the call. And linesman quickly over to the Kazakhstan bench to make sure that they don't try and make a change.
Well, Andrei Nazarov probably made some adjustments to that penalty kill with his team. They've given up 4 power play goals on 9 opportunities coming into this game, and they've been perfect tonight so far. The team looks much improved, and the adjustments by coaches do happen as this tournament goes on.
Nazarov has coached in the KHL since 2007. Very animated back there. Sharp angle chance. Volkve Olsen lets that shot go through some traffic. They've hit the side of the net. And another icing call coming up to Kazakhstan.
Slaryov talked about the size of Kazakhstan. He mentioned Lubinov, the young player who's 6'6", big guy. A lot of veteran players too. There's a lot of them play for Astana in the KHL.
NHL scouts that are here to watch him will have to do their markings in the warm-up. A couple players in these games that do not see a whole lot of ice time. Michael Haga is in the lineup for the first time for Norway, but he is seated on the bench right next to the veteran Morten Ask. And when you're seated next to Morten Ask so far in this tournament, that's not a good thing.
Well, and a bit of a surprise because he's one of those names you see every year.
Nigel Dawes lets the shot go. Good save by Haugen. Dawes can still shoot the puck.
Just a quick release by Nigel Dawes as he comes down that right side. Dawes had 31 goals with Astana this year in the KHL, and he has the goal tonight off a great feed from Dustin Boyd. Physically, 2 penalties on that one for Tollefson. He had another great little redirect in front. So Nigel Dawes, 31-year-old, nice addition here to Team Kazakhstan.
Interesting, when we talked to him yesterday, he said it's to the point now when they come back to Kazakhstan for the start of the season, he says he feels like he's home.
6 years there now, and felt a little strange at first, that first year or two, some adjustments then. But since then, it's been home for Nigel Dawes, and now he's part of the national team. Although he still does come back to Winnipeg when the season is over. He's got 4 shots in this game. He's a veteran of 212 NHL games, originally a New York Ranger draft pick. And did play for Team Canada, a couple of World Juniors.
I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it wasn't Drop Ferry. They'll do it all over again.
That we'll continue talking about now. Said the World Junior. He was part of that 2005 team, that dynamic Canadian team that won gold in North Dakota.
Linesman smiling. He got whacked across the knuckles.
Dennis, they're going to do it again.
That'll be your job from now on. You can
puck with that drop fairly. They're going to do it again. Yeah.
Bochinski out with Dawes and Boyd. Volkve Olsen gets it into the Kazakhstan zone. Savchenkov is on it. Lead pass Bochinski. And Bochinski gets stopped at center ice by Dahlstrom. Kolos will chase this into his own zone. Kolos being watched there by Romerev. Pass up the middle. Andreas Martinson's up with it. Good play by Martinson. He'll leave it there for Steen. Trying to get it to the net. It got blocked. Steen down for Cretins. Cretins to the front of the net. That got blocked. Korbienkov. Now Cretins drives the net. Foul a lane as Korbienkov, the defenseman, got caught a little high.
Nice little play by Trenton's walking the goal line.
Back in for Zuccarello. Matt Zuccarello watched by Lakiza. Down he goes, and Lakiza is going to go to the penalty box, and now Andreas Martinson knocks his man down in the corner. So power play when we come back. Lakiza to the penalty box. And a power play coming up for Norway.
See if Norway can take advantage and find the back of the net. It was Kazakhstan that scored in the power play earlier in this game in that first period to tie it up at 1.
This game tied 1-1. Of the 11 games that have been played here at the Ice Palace, 5 have gone to extra time. 3 of them have involved Switzerland. Every one of their games has gone to extra time. So the two Olums along with Rosalie Olsen, Holas and Trigg. That's the power play for Norway. That's Holas with the blast. And what a block by Solerov. Correction, that was Merkelov that made that block and then hustles over to the bench.
Well, pay the price for your teammates, and he'll get a well-deserved pat when he gets back to the bench.
Olum pulls up, sets up the power play, dishes it off. Mathis Olum back for Holas. Mathis Olum looking. Holas, he'll let it fly, and a save made by Kalishnik. Rosalie Olsen back for Holas. Mathis Olum. And no shooting lane there against the checking of Pushkarov. Rosalie Olsen throws it to the near post, and that deflected off Lapine. Holas down for Trigg, back for Holas. Save made Kalishnik.
Really have to credit Kazakhstan. They're paying the price. Some real good blocks by their players, just getting out at Markalev with a great one as he goes right down. He's going to take it off the back of his right leg. And then in front, it's going to be Lapine that helps out. In front, comes down a little bit of coverage, knocks down Olim, and Kalishnik able to make the save. But an aggressive penalty kill, and if you're going to be part of it, you have to have that willingness to get in front of those shots. Bastianson
and Solera about to take the face-off and clear down the ice after the face-off win. Markelov in on the forward check for Kazakhstan. Zuccarello carries through for Andreas Martinson, for Bastianson, and on for Zuccarello. Zuccarello sends this cross ice. Johansson back for Holas, who's been up for the entire power play that has 8 seconds left. And now Semyonov off the glass and down the ice.
Those minutes aren't going to go down after playing over half that first period.
So Kazakhstan 4 for 4 on the penalty kill. Wrist shot by Forsberg, that went wide. So Norway's power play in this championship now 2 for 11. And the penalty kill for Kazakhstan, they have killed 9 of 13. Roy Mark sends this ahead. Here comes Forsberg. shot, and he ripped the wrister wide. Toe drag there by Dustin Boyd. Leaves for Bochenski, on for Dawes. Dawes the quick wrister, that goes off Tollefson and wide. Collision in behind the net, and Dustin Boyd a little slow to get up.
He collided with Nigel Dawes as Dawes tried to slip past him behind the net.
They both make their way back to the Kazakhstan bench, but Boyd looks as though he may have taken the worst of it as Kalishnik hangs onto it.
That's not what you want of your Kazakhstan. That's been your most dangerous line tonight. See both Dawes and Boyd. As Boyd's trying to play that puck. Gets up quickly and heads to the bench. Seems to be all right. And puck Dawes' shoulder in the face.
8.5 left to go, second period, 1-1 tie. Dennis Bayak, Shane Natty, our producer, Kevin Pratt here at the Ice Palace in Moscow. Ramira lost it against the checking of Dahlstrom. Dahlstrom plays it behind the net for Tretens. And then Ramira plays it back for Lepine. And Lepine's pass for Starchenko never got anywhere. Tretens is after it. So now Tretens and Steen getting a little more ice time here in the second period. They had Martinson out with them on the last shift, and they got Dahlstrom out with them on this shift. 7:53 and a 1-1 tie here in the second.
After some goals in that first period, scoring's dried up a little bit here. Is still a 1-1 hockey game. There's been power plays on both sides, and Kazakhstan's penalty kill has come up big as Norway's been unable to take advantage of their power plays.
Dustin Boyd appears to be all right on the Kazakhstan bench. We talked about those players that have gotten Kazakhstan citizenship. They play in Astana. There's a number of players that play for different countries. They get their citizenship and allowed to play in this tournament. There are those at the IIH level that don't like that happening.
Well, Belarus has Jeff Platt, Kevin Milland.
Knocked away at center ice by Kransno Slobotsev. Polas back into his own zone. Rosalie Olsen finds a little bit of room, cuts to the left side. Rosalie Olsen trying to center it, can't. Jammed up the board, but Norway stays on the attack with Olam. For Rosalie Olsen, back for Norstabo. Norstabo against Kransno Slobotsev. Shot, score! The shot got blocked, the rebound came out. And Norway has the 2-1 lead.
And Andre Olam's going to get this puck as it's blocked. It's going to drop right by his stick. And he makes no mistake as he is going to beat Kalishnik to the glove side. So this will be the second of the turn. Norstabo just trying to get this shot through. Hits the body in front, drops to Ken Andre Olam. And he's able to shovel that pass. Quick little release. Sure if it hit Rosalie Olsen or Shevchenko in front. Try a shoot-off, between one of them. And Andre Nazarov trying to figure out what happened.
Nice play by Norstabo, though.
Just get it to the net, hold the line.
Made one little move, didn't like what he saw initially. And now this ends up in the Norway bench.
Well, Norway had the lead first in this game, so they regain it here in period number 2. And there's their captain, Christian Tollefsen. Another guy with NHL experience. 163 NHL games between Columbus and Philadelphia.
And captain of this Norwegian team in 4 of the last 5 years. Kolishnik plays this up the glass. Norway to the attack. Johansson the shot. And Bastiansen tried to get a stick on it, could not. And Brandon Bochinski will carry it down. Sends it in, goes in after it. Norway on the offensive, trying to, or rather Kazakhstan on the offensive, trying to regain a tie in this contest. Nigel Dawes sends it in, goes in after with Tollefsen. Tollefsen protects the puck, gets some help from Johansson. Savchenkov, he'll hold it in, and Savchenko gets drilled to the sideboards by Andreas Martinsen. And Kazakhstan down by 1 will go to the power play.
See what the call is on this play is.
There's a discussion, this may be more than 2.
Savchenko's along the wall, the puck's gonna come up, he pitches down, and Martinsen. Yeah, that's definitely a penalty. We'll see what the call is. As Martinsen with a careless penalty here, and right after his team gets the lead, he's gonna go to the penalty box against a Kazakh team that has 6 power play goals, or 5 power play goals so far in the tournament. It's 2 minutes for boarding to Martinsen.
So Kazakhstan to the power play.
Savchenko's all right, he's gonna stay on the ice for the power play.
Nigel Dawes to take the face off. Starchenko, Ramirez, Lakiza, and Savchenko are out there for this power play. Ramirez dropped it. Leaves for Starchenko. In with Ivanov. Ramirez puts on the brakes. Drops it back for Ivanov. Ivanov for Ramirez. Ramirez with a power play goal in this tournament. A nifty little bank goal off the back end of the netminder. Ramirez drops it back. Savchenko with the blast, and that missed the net. Savchenko another shot. That hit Ivanov. And taken by Forsberg, and he'll clear it down the ice.
Well, Forsberg had a chance there to move it ahead, but a good play. Just make sure you get it deep, get it changed, get 4 fresh penalty killers on.
1 minute left in the power play. Savchenko for Bochinski. On for Nigel Dawes. Dawes for Dustin Boyd. Boyd in front for Dawes, and he chipped it over top the net. Semyonov, Savchenko, and he ripped the blast wide. Dawes back at the line. Savchenko from Semyonov, and that got blocked. Dustin Boyd back for Savchenko. Back for Dustin Boyd. Down for Bochinski. In from the backside, Semyonov. And Bochinski tried to get it to him, couldn't. Dawes feeds it back. Savchenko for Bochinski, scores! Brandon Bochinski, another power play goal for Kazakhstan.
Rosalie Olsen loses his stick here for Norway, so it's like a 5-on-3.5, you could say. And Kazakhstan does a good job moving around, and these 3 guys, Bochinski, Dawes, and Boyd, have been tremendous in this game. Savchenko's got the big shot from the point. He's just gonna find Bochinski. Takes the ice that he's given, and he picks that top corner perfect as he takes to the net. Little room up top, but no mistake as he rips it home. As Bochinski gets his first of the tournament and ties it at 2.
7 power play goals in this tournament now for Kazakhstan.
Well, it's been the main source of their offense.
Correction, 6 power play goals now in this tournament for Kazakhstan.
I think the teams they play now might want to make sure, and it comes on a penalty that could have been avoided. Martinson takes a bad penalty.
6 for 10. That's not bad. Bastianson, watched by Ivanov. Taken by Zuccarello. Spins it back down for Odegaard. Odegaard driving the net. Andreas Martinson plays it back. Bastianson got knocked down, came to the front, and Martinson got a redirect that was stopped by Kolishnik. Starchenko takes it deep into the Norway zone. Hudakov for Romerev. Romerev to the front of the net, that ricocheted off a leg wide. Starchenko drops for Lapine. Down for Romerev. Romerev short side, save made by Haugen. Back at the line, a blast, loose in front. Spinning and firing is Starchenko, and he blasted it wide. Lapine, as Kazakhstan has Norway on the ropes here, a little bit late in the second.
Starchenko is slow to go back to Kazakhstan bench and is in some discomfort.
Lapine trying to hold it in. And finally, it'll be taken by Bastianson. And he needs a rest, but he can't get off as he didn't get it deep enough. Taken by Holas, and Holas tight turns to get away from Pushkarov. And that will allow Norway to make the change. Olum for Olum. Shot by Rosalie Olsen got blocked. Kolofsson, Holas, Mathis, Olum. And through traffic, it never got to the net. Can Andre Olum takes a bump from Tryasunov, back to the line. Holas was jumping in. And then Holas has to hustle back. Semyonov stepped up, but Olum carries in. Can Andre Olum scores? Mathis Olum gets to the far side and buries it.
These brothers have been terrific. Absolutely fantastic play here. It starts with Ken Andre Olum along the wall just outside the blue line. This puck, a chance for Starchenko, goes off the outside of the post earlier. Ken Andre, and watch the pickup by Mathis. Off the skate, it's gonna cut back, little move here, then shoot across the body up high, glove side. A great play by Mathis Olum. Beautiful goal to the glove side as they get the lead back late in period 2. These two brothers have been fantastic as they each have a goal in back-to-back games.
This line with the Olums and Rosalie Olsen is a good line, and boy, they see plenty of ice time. Lazika plays it, and that gets sent in by Korobienkov. And Haugen will grab it and hang on to it.
Well, the brothers, they said they think alike on the ice. You can see why. A nice little play, but good job cutting back. Rosalie Olsen drives through. He takes the players with him. That allows that lane for Olum just to cut across quickly, and no mistake on that shot.
And now
they're going to try it again.
Yep. No, Boyd's going to get waved out. Boyd's been a real good face-off taker for Kazakhstan. 25 of 43 coming into this game for 58%. First ever meeting at a world tournament between these two teams. Kazakhstan has been in and out of the A pool. In from the line, Korobienkov. Plays it for Bochenski, back for Nigel Dawes. Lakiza looking for a lane to the net. Boyd takes it for Kazakhstan. Plays it back for Nigel Dawes. Dawes in a big-time battle. As he and Forsberg are all tied up, still down behind the net. And finally separate. Final minute of period 2. Lepine back for it. Here's a chance for Ivanov with Bochenski, and Bochenski shot it wide as Ivanov was headed to the front of the net. Andreas Martinsen plays it down the ice, and Ivanov takes it. Andreas Martinsen with a bit of a shot on Semyonov as he went by. Oh, and then Andreas Martinsen is met head-on by Alexander Lepine.
Lepine has had a couple of big hits, and that's 2 big bodies coming together, and another penalty, this time to Kazakhstan.
So with 9.1 seconds left in period number 2, Ivanov slowly making his way to the penalty box.
Well, another boarding penalty here to Ivanov. It happened right in front, a little bump from behind. That's going to be the boarding call. Not much time. Here's the hit by Lepine. A great job, just steps up, good clean hit on Martinsen. Lepine 6'2", 220. Martinsen 6'3", 220. So a couple of big boys.
That was a good hit.
It was. Lepine split the last year between Astana, the KHL, and in the Kazakhstan League.
30 years of age. Trying to hold it in, but unable to do that was Zuccarello. And it's a case now of dropping the puck in the second period will come to an end, and Norway, as they did to start the second, will start the third with the man advantage.
Well, it's been a back and forth game. That's been the case. Kazakhstan has never had the lead, but they've been able to tie it up the 2 times. 2 of the times that Norway's gained that lead.
So the second period ends, and a 1-goal lead for Norway.
And an important power play for them when they come out to start the third. Just as important, the penalty kill, is Ivanov looking for his team to give him some help.
And Kalishnik, who's been busy as he always is, as he and his teammates make their way off the ice. It's a 1-goal game. Welcome back to Moscow, the Ice Palace. As we look at Andrei Nazarov, the head coach, there's his netminder, Vitaly Kalashnik, who will need to be good to start this period as Norway starts on the power play.
Well, he's certainly been busier than at the other end, Lars Haugen. He is 30-14 the shots in favor of Norway, and a power play for Norway. Kazakhstan's been able to come back twice in this hockey game, down 1-0, made it 1-1, down 2-1, made it 2-2, and then a goal by Mathis Olom, as both him and his brother Ken Andre Olom have goals in this game and given their Norwegian team a 3-2 lead.
Norway kept Kazakhstan to just 5 shots on goal in that second period. So again, it has been a busy night for Kalashnik as he has faced 30. He has stopped 27. And the third period is underway.
Well, of the 14 shots by Kazakhstan, 10 of them have come from 3 players. Dustin Boyd, Nigel Dawes, and Brandon Bochenski.
And that line will need to find at least 1 goal. Or someone from Kazakhstan will, but right now they got to kill off this penalty. Zuccarello shot. Good save there by Kalashnik on a high redirect from Andreas Martinsson. Dashchinson plays it around for Zuccarello. Watched by Solerov. Cross ice. Holas, the shot. That never got to the net. And chopped up the boards. Merkelov trying to get it out. Can't. Stopped by Holas. Dashchinson around for Zuccarello. For Holas. And a save made by Kalashnik. The rebound grabbed off, and Markelov will clear it down the ice.
Couple real good looks for Norway. Probably the best chance was the early one. Zuccarello, a nice little high slot tip pass to Martinsson, who got it on net. Kalashnik with a couple of good saves.
Olom, Mathis Olom loses it, gets it back, sends it deep, and they're going to say he was on his own side of center, and icing is going to be called against Norway.
Oh, just a little bit ahead, but here's the look at that play. Cross ice, this one to Holas, goes off the defenseman, Tryasunov's skate, doesn't get it through the second time though. Holas able to get that shot. Kalashnik gets that pad up against the post.
That's Zuccarello, still looking for his first goal of this tournament. This is the 3rd game. This will complete a 3-game set for all the teams. Holas chases this into the corner and grabbed off by Norstebo. Rosalie Olsen carries in, puts on the brakes. Dying seconds of the power play for Norway. Olom back at the line, and that shot by Holas didn't get through. Deflected in front, save made by Kalashnik. Power play over as Ivanov is out. Played out at center. Olom on his way to the bench will just play it back into his own zone for Holas, who never seems to leave the ice.
Well, and we'll wonder what his end ice time will be at. He played 20 minutes and 33 seconds after just 2 periods of play.
Especially if this remains a 1-goal game, or Kazakhstan ties it, or it stays that close.
Well, and we'll see if Norway can kind of learn from their last game, because they had a 3-1 lead over Switzerland going into the 3rd, and Switzerland was able to tie it up at 3 with 9 seconds left. Eventually Norway won in overtime on the power play with a Martinsson goal, but kind of got sitting on their heels a little too much in that 3rd period in that game.
Bochenski in on the forward check. Almost a steal there for Dustin Boyd. And Tryasunovs for Semyonov, and they play catch. And Semyonov will just take it in behind his own net as Kazakhstan changes. And
wait and see what the call is. Is it too many men? It's the linesman from the far side that blows the whistle.
And
is it a too many men call to Kazakhstan?
There's a discussion going on at the Kazakhstan bench.
That's what the call will be.
Yep.
Well, Norway right back to the power play. So they're looking for a time here to extend their lead. Weren't able to do it early. They get another opportunity.
Czech Republic leading this pool with 8 points. Russia 6, Sweden 5. And then Switzerland and Denmark next at 4. So a regulation win for one of these teams, and that is 3 points, and that would put them into a tie with Sweden. So that's what's riding on the line here with 16.5 left to go in regulation. Holas will chase this back. 6th power play of the game for Norway. Olum drops it back for Ken Andre. Ken Andre Olum, the shot blocked. And grabbed off on the far side, Pushkarov, and he'll play it down the ice. Mats Trigg. Left side, Zuccarello. And Zuccarello stopped there by Tryasunov. Trying to get it out, and doing so is Solerov with a great play.
Well, good second effort by Solerov, just diving for that puck, able to knock it the length.
Bastianson drops it back for Zuccarello. In on Savchenko. Zuccarello back for Holas, and back for Zuccarello. Lets it go right off the mask of Kalishnik. And the referee over to check and see if Kalishnik is okay, says I'm fine, and play goes on. Cross ice, Holas, and that looked like it may have been offside. Big hit in the corner, centered up front. Norstabo is in from the line. And play whistle down, and Morton Ask getting a shift here in the third period.
Can't be easy. He hasn't played. He's been on the bench, not yet played any shifts, and now gets his first shift of the tournament in the third period of the third game. So the veteran Morton Ask, who's in his 11th World Championship, now getting some playing time.
Second all-time in scoring for Norway at these World Championships. And he'll send it in, gets a bump, and power play is over. So Kazakhstan on the penalty kill, very successful. 6 for 6 tonight. There's a shot and another one off the mask of Kalishnik. Panchin will get this deep. And then he'll turn and head to the bench, and Tollefson will set it up in behind his own net. Long shot in. Kalishnik stops it, leaves it for Semyonov. Here comes Boyd. Barges his way into the Norway zone. Haugens almost got checked from behind by Nigel Dawes.
Well, this is the line that Norway needs to be aware of for Kazakhstan, the Boyd, Dawes, and Bochenski line.
Steen gets it out. Quick shot there by Dahlstrom wide. And Nigel Dawes will slip this out to center, and Norway will regroup with Odegaard. He'll send it in. Kalishnik leaves it behind his own net, and Lapine sends it out at center. Ivanov for Ramirez. Sends it the rest of the way in. Haugen gets it for Holas. He's bumped and knocked off the puck. Ramirez is after it. He got spilled. And a scrum along the boards down below us. Finally clear down the ice, and this will be icing called against Norway.
So wall battles that Norway's going to have to win here as they get this out, but it's going to be the length of the ice. And we'll see if Roy Johansson has any advice for his team here on to hang on to this lead. They've had a couple of power plays you thought they could have got opportunity to add to, but unable to capitalize.
Face off, Nigel Dawes plays it back for Semyonov, and he didn't get much on it. And Haugens will jump on it and hang on.
Well, Semyonov, a good play, just outweights the sliding check.
12 minutes and 48 seconds left here in the third period. It's a one-goal game.
Simply play that.
Well, looks like a piece of the glass might be out. To repair it. Taken care of it. Now we'll get set for the face-off.
France is leading Hungary 4-2 over in St. Petersburg. And the Hungarian fans,
Just tremendous support for their team. Not about winning or losing, just the pride they have that they're here at this tournament, and when they score a goal, it is celebrated.
well, everybody was lined up for the face-off. The one referee is still over by that glass that we were talking about. And now one of the employees here at the Ice Palace is over to do the repair.
Looks good to go.
Yep.
Look at Andrei Nazarov, the coach with Kazakhstan. How many smiles out of him?
Has his team down by a goal here. With 12:48 to go, Kazakhstan, we talked about this being the first ever matchup against Norway at the World Championship. The last time Kazakhstan was in this group was 2014. And 7 times in the last 18 years, they have been in the big group.
They finished 16th in their last 3 appearances, 2010, 12, and 14.
Slovenia has already qualified to be back in the A pool next year. And then it will depend what happens, whether or not there's a second team. If there is a second team, it would be Italy. So that will depend on who gets relegated from the other side. France or Germany cannot get relegated as they are the host countries for next year.
Germany, big win today over Slovakia.
Olem, watched by Nigel Dawes. Rosalie Olsen on the loose puck to the front of net. A redirect there by Ken-Andre Olem went wide. And Semyonov plays it ahead. Bochinski gets this back to the Norway line, and Tollefsen takes over. For Olem and back for Mats Trygg. Back for Olofsson. Tollefsen, lead pass, stopped at center ice. And then Rosalie Olsen is on it. Chip off the boards, but it gets turned over. And then Trygg took Ivanov down, so he couldn't get in for that loose puck. Sharp angle chance, Ramirez. And Forsberg grabs the puck and sends it cross ice and out to center ice. Back in for Ramirez. Holas gets ahead of him, drops it off. Forsberg for Morton Ask, and Ask will send this in. Roymark is after it. Roymark couldn't get anywhere. Hudakov had it, lost it, and now Markelov will bounce it to the line, trying to get it deep to Krasnoslobotsev. But grabbed off by Norstabo. He'll send it back for Holas. Back for Norstabo. Up at center, Roymark got crunched on a good hit. Shot by Markelov, and a save there by Lars Haugen.
Got a little help from Holas coming back as that puck went off Haugen and up into the air. Holas able to clear it out of danger in front.
Lead pass, Semyonov trying to spring Dustin Boyd, and icing will be the call.
There's going to be a push from Kazakhstan. Big hit on Roymark. That creates the turnover, and Markelov comes in, little shot goes up in the air, and then Holas is going to come in, use his hand, push it over to the corner. Lars Haugen, they're going to need their netminder here down the stretch to make a save or two.
Dashchinson, who has had a good tournament from a face-off standpoint, gets the draw. Zuccarello, chance. Zuccarello on the rebound. Plays it back for Johansson. Johansson shot wide. Zuccarello going after it. Cleared away from him. And Bochenski trying to squeeze his way through, but there was no room. Dashchinson 65% in the face-offs coming into this game tonight. Lapine gets it back from Ramirev. Ivanov sends it all the way around. Pushkarov touches one of the Norway players on the way in, so there's no icing. Pushkarov now in after it. He got spilled by Rosalie Olsen. And Olam gets it ahead for Rosalie Olsen. Carries in, wrist shot. Kalishnik makes the save, and we are into the back half of this third period.
We've talked about this line, Ken Andre and Mathis Olam along with Rosalie Olsen. Real smart breakout by them. No panic with the puck. They make sure they support a good clean entry or exit out of their own zone. No turnover. They're able to get it the length of the ice and a face-off deep in Kazakhstan zone.
Hudakov and Olam grabbed off Lakiza for Krasnoslobotsev. Tried to play it through for Markelov. Chipped off the boards, and Mathis Olam will send Kazakhstan back. Gorbienkov plays it up, kept in at the line. Olam into the slot, slap shot Forsberg, and he blistered that one wide. Rosalie Olsen plays it back around the boards. Krasnoslobotsev looking for Hudakov, hit him in the back of the skates. Covering up though. Tries Sunov, and he'll play this deep, and taken by Norstabo. For Forsberg, for Morton Ask. And Ask will send this off the backboards. First on the puck is Holas, and Kalishnik another save. Ask takes it around the net. Getting watched there by Dustin Boyd. Morton Ask stays on it, and now finally Boyd got some help, but it is kept in at the line. Johansson, or rather Holas with that shot, and it got blocked. Semyonov for Nigel Dawes. His pass doesn't get anywhere. Now slammed in by Dustin Boyd. And now 8 left in a one-goal game.
Still lots of time, but Norway's playing a real solid third period here with that one-goal lead.
Tollefson lets the shot go off a leg and wide. Savchenko sends it ahead for Ivanov. And Ivanov will send it the rest of the way in. Tollefson in the corner. And taken by Dahlstrom. For Trettons. He'll slide it in and head to the bench on a change. Savchenko. He's going to try that long shot. Worked once, try it again. Haugen's got the pads together on that. Martinson sends it back for Holas. Watched by Hudakov. And taken by Lakiza. And here comes Merkulov. Merkulov behind the net. Battle for a loose puck. And it comes back to the line. Trying to get a stick on it there. Krasno Slobodsev gets it back for Markulov. Now it comes loose. Bastianson will clear. And they wave off icing.
Norway just content here. Solid play in their own zone. Don't have a play. Make sure you get it over that blue line.
Nigel Dawes trying to carry it deep. He got stopped. Brandon Bochinski fires it in. And back for it, Tollefson. For Ken-Andre Olam. For Mathis Olam. Trying to get it in for Rosalie Olsen. He's watched by Lapine. Lapine now picks up the chase on Olam. Olam spins it back. And Savchenko up the boards for Nigel Dawes. Dawes trying to send it ahead. Does. Almost a 2-on-1, but it was a little slow in developing. And now Brandon Bochinski gets spun around.
Good hustle by Rosalie Olsen to get back to forward on a back check.
And caught, dropped, and held by Lars Haugen on the shot from Solorev. 5:37, and Kazakhstan down by 1.
Norway hanging on to that 1-goal lead. They've been the better team here in this game. A little bit of a nervous shot on Lars Haugen at the end there. He had trouble handling it, but 41-18 shots in favor for Norway.
Norway has kept Kazakhstan, yes. They have been unable to, other than a couple of times. There was the one late in the second period where Kazakhstan really had Norway running around in its own end. But other than that, Norway has done a good job defensively. Morten Ask, who has seen plenty of ice time here in the third period now. Back at the line, Lakiza lets the slap shot go, and that went wide. Holas, who may not leave the ice for the remaining 5 minutes.
Seems like he hasn't left the ice.
Jammed up, Morten Ask knocked his man down. And slowly get up is Big Ivanov. Romerev is stopped at the line. And Ivanov to the bench.
Dangerous changes by both teams.
Savchenko, the long shot. Lars Haugen clears it off the stick. And unable to handle it cleanly was Schim. Here's a chance for Zuccarello. Zuccarello cuts to the inside, and the save made by Kalishnik.
After a nervous clearing attempt at the one end, Zuccarello gets a nice little feed, a little banked play off the boards. Here's the play. Cole's just going to try and play this. Haugen shoots that, he comes off, and then Odegaard. Good little bank pass to speed. Zuccarello's going to cut back, let the shot go. Kalishnik able to make the save.
Germany now up 5-2, or France rather, 5-2 on Hungary. So looks like a day for wins for both host countries next year. Rosalie Olsen will just send this down the ice, and icing is going to be called, even though Mathis Olam thought that he maybe had the inside track.
Well, Ken-Andre Olam picked up the goal, quick little snipe from the slot, and then a great feed to his brother that led to the goal-ahead. This time it was his brother Mathis with a great little move and finish. The brothers each have a goal and an assist in this game. Let's look at Ken-Andre Olam.
Odegaard plays it around the boards. Odegaard and Trigg on defense now, so Holas getting a little bit of a breather. Bochenski trying to dig it free. Tryasunov back into his own zone.
Breathers, oh, he'll probably be out there for the last 3 minutes, Holas.
Tryasunov for Ramirez. His pass blocked by Forsberg. Forsberg, the wrist shot. That went wide, short side. And Ramirez plays it out at center. Ivanov back in to slide it deep. Starchenko's after it. And Morton Ask turns to get away from Ivanov. Korbienkov back for it.
Credit to Morton Ask for not playing for a tournament, and then in this third period, a real veteran presence defensively.
Hudakov gives chase for Kazakhstan. 3 minutes left in regulation. Bastianson couldn't handle it, and a penalty coming up to Kazakhstan.
Who's going to get this call? This is not a good time to take a penalty. 3 minutes left. It's Tollefson behind the net. Hudakov's stick gets high. It's going for the stick check, but it's after, and that's one you can't even argue. So Norway with 3 minutes left in this game, a 1-goal lead.
7th power play of the game. 7 times Andrei Nazarov has seen his team go shorthanded.
Well, he won't be able to argue this one, but there'll still be time, so they have time to kill this off, and then we'll have a minute remaining to try and tie it unless Norway can give themselves a little bit of a cushion.
Solerov and Bastianson for the face-off, and there goes the power play.
Just can't take that penalty right there, Martinson. We talk about taking your hand off your stick, that free hand and putting it out. He's going to get a holding call right off the draw. And that's exactly where it is at this point in the game. So instead of 4-on-4, Kalishnik's going to go to the box, and it is a 5-on-4 now for Kazakhstan.
With 2:55 left, Andrei Nazarov pulls the tender.
Well, he's got the face-off in the zone where he wants it.
So 4-on-4, here we go. And they jam it out at center. Semyonov back for Tryasunov, and he'll pump this in. After it goes Nigel Dawes for Bochenski, for Dustin Boyd. Boyd back for Bochenski. Lets it go short side, save, rebound. Zuccarello at the empty net. Zuccarello scores! Matt Zuccarello has his first in the championship, and it gives Norway a 2-goal lead.
Great hustle by Zuccarello. Does a good job getting the red line, a little chip and chase to himself, and maybe this is exactly what he is going to need going forward to find the back of the net. Some good work, and this is the play. He's going to chip it up, skate into it, good speed, and no mistake as he rips it into the open cage. So Norway now, still some time left for Kazakhstan, but that's a little bit of insurance for their hockey club as they celebrate on the bench.
Well, we'll keep an eye on Kalishnik. One would think as soon as that puck gets back to the Norway zone that Kalishnik will once again be headed to the pine. Forsberg. Controlled by Norway off the draw. Ivanov back into his own end. Plays it for Lakiza. Lakiza for Savchenko, and Savchenko sends it in. And Haugen is just going to hang on to it.
Haugen not take no chances right now. And this will give a chance to take Kalishnik as he heads right back to the bench. So Andrei Nazarov, no choice here. You might as well go for it. You're down two, just under 2 minutes left.
So I think Kazakhstan was happy that Haugen held it. I'm not sure that Norway was thrilled with it. Because they do get the face-off now in their own zone, which is what Kazakhstan wanted. Bochenski plays it back to the line. Shot by Semyonov, and that gets deflected up and out of play. And the face-off will come out.
Good thing is it comes out of the zone, but Dawes, Boyd, and Bochenski. See, guys, Kalishnik's going to go in. I think he'll probably sit at the top of the circles here. Wait and see what happens off the draw.
Kazakhstan controls Bochenski. Plays it in. There goes Kalishnik to the bench for the extra attacker. Bolas got tied up on the play. On it is Dawes. Nigel Dawes for Brandon Bochenski. Back for Savchenko. The slap shot never got through. Rebound! Bochenski put it right through the paint. Dawes back for Bochenski. Savchenko off the one-timer and he blasted it wide. Bastianson watched by Nigel Dawes. And Bastianson off the boards, trying to send that ahead, does, and Zuccarello looking for a second empty netter, put it wide.
Well, just get it deep into the Kazakhstan zone at least.
Bochenski sends it through. Dustin Boyd in from that left side. The shot goes off Trigg and over the net. Now a brief power play that has just ended for Kazakhstan. And we're into the final minute. And right now, Norway looking very much like it will move into a tie with Sweden after 3 games of the World Championship. And in the top 4 being Czech Republic, Russia, Sweden, and Norway. And next up for Kazakhstan is Czech Republic on Thursday. Next up for Norway, Sweden tomorrow.
Be a real tough test. Sweden looked to get their game going, but credit to the way Norway's played is Kazakhstan with a real good chance. That's Bochenski as he's trying to find some room, and Haugen gets just enough of that puck.
I stand corrected. Kazakhstan plays Sweden tomorrow. Too bad, it would have been a good matchup.
Well, Norway, that first loss to Denmark, and Denmark had the game in their hands today. Switzerland able to come back, score one late, so Denmark loses a value, couple points that they could have had if they won that game in regulation. And now, great chance here for Norway.
Norway-Sweden, by the way, will play on Saturday. 22 seconds left in this one. And the referee is going to skate over and check the time on the clock. Games tomorrow, Switzerland, Latvia, and Sweden, Kazakhstan.
Well, they got the .8 up on the clock they wanted.
Nigel Dawes in front for Boyd, got away from him. Matt Zuccarello will just lift this out at center. Bastianson tied up with Savchenko. And the loose puck for Ivanov. But Kazakhstan will simply run out of time as Norway full credit for this victory.
And you said it, a lot of credit to Norway. They played hard, they put a lot of pucks at Kalishnik and Kazakhstan's net. But the way they played the third period with the lead shows that they learned from when they couldn't hold it against Switzerland. This is a big win here for Norway.
So 4-2, Norway wins it, and Norway moves into the top 4 in Pool A with 3 games done. Good night from Moscow.
Congratulating Norway victory, and just a few seconds we start the best player award ceremony.
Дорогие друзья, мы начинаем церемонию награждения лучших игроков матча.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the best player award ceremony.
Награда предоставлена Райффайзенбанк Интернешнл, официальным спонсором чемпионата мира по хоккею с шайбой 2016 года.
And the award is provided by Raiffeisenbank International, official sponsor of the 2016 IIHF Ice Hockey World Championship.
Награду лучшим игрокам вручает глава отдела коммуникации Международной Федерации хоккея на льду господин Адам Штайс.
And the prize is represented by the IIHF Communications, Adam Штайс.
Лучшим игроком в сборной команде Казахстана назван Брендан Бачинский, номер 27.
The best player of Team Kazakhstan, number 27, Brendan Bachinski.
Лучшим игроком в сборной команде Норвегии назван Матис Улин, номер 46.
And the best player of Team Norway, number 46, Mattis Ulin.
Дорогие друзья, в честь команды победительницы исполняется государственный гимн Норвегии.
Ladies and gentlemen, in honor of the winning team, please rise for the national anthem of Norway.
Сегодня программа игрового дня исчерпана. Завтра в 16 часов 15 минут начнется первый матч игрового дня, в котором встретятся сборные команды Швейцарии и Латвии.
Dear friends, thank you very much for your attendance today. This concludes the fifth day of the IIHF World Championship. And we will be tomorrow, first game of the week, 4:15, Switzerland, Latvia.
Дорогие друзья, мы благодарим вас за внимание и поддержку. Желаем вам всего самого доброго и ждем вас в нашем дворце завтра. Дорогие друзья, еще раз благодарим вас за внимание и до завтра.
Dear friends, thank you very much again for your attendance and see you tomorrow.
Что вы не любили и что вы любили не очень. Наступает момент, когда все уходит на второй план. И мы с этим не This is the decisive second. The second one you act. The point of no return. This is where you meet yourself. This is where a new adventure begins. This is the moment. This is your time. Tiso.
Хоккей – это спорт, где все относятся к своему делу по-особенному. И болельщики, и хоккеисты. Здесь каждый старается изо всех сил и выкладывается на полную. Поэтому мы поддерживаем чемпионат мира по хоккею уже много лет. И вкладываемся в тех, кто выкладывается. Райффайзенбанк. Разница в отношении.
Introducing the 2016 IIHF app. Player statistics. Team statistics. Live updates. And introducing Hockey Cards. Your face, your team, your card. Share it with hockey fans across the world. From any smart device in your own language. The 2016 IIHF app, powered by Skoda.
Skoda. Simply clever.
Pirelli. I0.
Новая шина Pirelli i0 с уникальной технологией двойного шипа Dual Stat. Отличное сцепление и торможение на льду. Зимние шины Pirelli. Будь готов к русской зиме. Pirelli.
I0.
conviction and determination I need every day. The years of training, pushing myself to be the strongest, the sharpest. My dedication to the game, to my teammates who are counting on me to deliver. The nerves of steel, the preparation and ritual before the adrenaline of the match. The responsibility of being my best every time, prepared to fight every shift on the ice. This is not just a sport. This is who I am.
Мир бизнеса постоянно меняется. Сегодня невозможно оставаться лидером рынка без постоянного развития и роста. Преодоление хаоса в делах не только закаляет характер компании, но и делает ее чемпионом. QSR – это яркий пример эволюционного бизнеса. Мы помогаем нашим клиентам совершенствоваться. С какой бы проблемой ни столкнулся ваш бизнес, у нас всегда найдется надежное решение.
Все на спорте.